Well, thanks for joining us again. You're still on to the press, reaching you live from the nation's capital in Abuja on KAFTAN TV. And we've been joined by our guests. But before we let you meet our guests, this is a reminder that on this show you can call us via the numbers that will be displaying on your screen to let us have your contributions as to whatever we'll be discussing this morning. Well, like I said, we're joined by our guest. Is our own in-house analyst. He's no other than Joshua Imarayi. Good morning, Joshua. It's been a while, ages.
Yeah.
How are you?
To you too. I'm fine.
Yeah, happy New Year. Hope you're good.
Yeah. Just being optimistic about where the New Year is taking us.
Indeed. Earlier, before I started the show, I had read a quote about opportunities. Do not just happen. You have to grab those opportunities. You have to take them by force. So, what opportunities are you looking forward to in the New Year?
Well,
looking at the fact of all the things that are happening in this country currently.
Well, the ability to raise more than one stream of income is one opportunity I desire the most, and I think this year I'll be capitalizing on agriculture. Maybe.
Yeah, everybody's going into agriculture. Are you hungry?
I'm not hungry. You know, Nigerians, they always term agriculture as a dirty man's business.
Yeah.
So it is something that is profitable, considering that people eat daily and the prices of these things are skyrocketing. So it will be unprecedented that me like this, I don't eat my own national cake from it. So
indeed. So one thing that happens during the New Year, at the shout of Happy New Year, as soon as 24 is people writing their New Year resolutions and likes. We had a guest yesterday said he didn't have to write his New Year resolution. He has it at the back of his hand and there's no need writing it. So what do you make of that? Have you written your New Year resolutions? What changes are you hoping to make? What are you hoping to add to your life, for the New Year?
I'm not a fan of New Year resolutions because many a times we make those resolve at the beginning of the year, just miles into the year, it's already gone. Just like how the wind blows the desert sand. But I am being optimistic.
Yeah.
What I will basically do this year is recount the last year, the mistake I made, the good choices I made, the options I made. I will vet them. Where needs development? We'll get development there. Where needs a total shutdown, we shut it down. That's how it's going to be.
All right, then let's see how the year unfolds, because already the fourth day, time is flying already. Before you know, end of January, and before you know, you have been expecting your salary and the like. So, well, let's see how it goes with the New Year. But shockingly, we've been talking about insecurity since Monday, and it's as though it continues and it keeps evolving. Just yesterday, we have reports of gunmen killing one, kidnapped two in fresh Plateau attack. We saw the chief in Plateau being either killed or kidnapped still. What do you make of the whole insecurity, especially in Plateau states? Because before the Christmas, the eve to the Christmas, we had an attack on Monday or Sunday to Monday, we had another attack, 5 people killed. So many reports have been made, and the defense ministry has said they are doing a lot to it. The president gave his speech, no commiseration whatsoever was made, although the vice president had to visit the states to commiserate with the victims, promising hope and the likes, and we still keep seeing this attack happening. And now come to Abuja, the attacks have reached even Abuja, in the Buhari area of Abuja. So what do you make of this whole issue of insecurity?
Well, it is quite saddening that when everyone is supposed to be celebrating, we are hearing cries, mourns from different kind of areas, and it is actually an indicator that these attackers have no moral respect for the period we are in. Why do I say so? When everyone seems to be rejoicing, it shows you that they could go at any length to destabilize and make everywhere uncomfortable for citizens who have every right to be happy. And it tells quite a lot of how well and how far the current administration is taking the security issue. Because I'm not mistaken, this is not the first or the second attack during President Tinubu's tenure. It shows there's a security deficit that needs to be filled. There's a hole that intelligence should fill up, basically, because according to what I read, I saw that the Plateau State Governor Muftang made comments of how he warned security agencies of the impending attack, how they saw these guys who were perpetrators of this anarchy and the likes, how they were transporting themselves. And intelligence showed that they did not take up arms during their transportation, that they stored it in specific places actually. That shows that there is a deficit in intelligence gathering. Now, when at the wee hours of...
Well, whose fault is that, though, that there's actually a lack of intelligence? Because I remember when, during the briefing, the weekly briefing by the defense headquarters, saying that, of course, they lack intelligence. They called on people to give intelligence. However, people are scared. People are frightened that, oh, if they give intelligence, they might come for them and they might lose their life at the end of it. So whose fault is it? Intelligence is not being gathered.
Basically, I think these people are learning from past experiences, because you don't need to allow things to happen to you before you learn from them. You could learn from your neighbor's experience. And I think their non-obligation of giving intelligence is as a result of past experiences they've experienced with one or more parties together. It shows you that the people are gradually lacking trust in the architectural, the security architectural system of this country. For me not to give you intelligence as a citizen means I'm afraid, I'm scared that my life could be on the line the moment I tell you something. It shows you. And this intelligence gathering of a thing is not really the sole responsibility or the onus of the army. Because we have the NIA, the National Intelligence Agency, we have the DSS. This is where their JD is. So, them confusing the entire thing shows that they don't understand their clear objective of what they should be doing. The army is, as far as we are concerned, is the ground force of the country. That when the need be, they come out en masse, defend the country from external attacks and the likes. Now, it shows that the NIA, the DSS, and the likes, they need to up their game. Because of if such things can be happening, it shows that there is something going on in those places. Is it that our intelligence are leaking out, that they don't want to give intelligence out, or is it that they are not proactive? Or
because even a letter was actually issued before the attack, saying that we are coming. Now, if you're talking about intelligence still, is this still intelligence that will make the attack in Abuja suburb area in a supermarket? Okay, because during that briefing, they said one of the key points or cardinal points made was the fact that they couldn't reach, as at the period where the attack was ongoing, they couldn't reach the destination because of the distance, okay, time allocation. Although for this Abuja attack, now we heard that the police came in rescue in hand in time. But however, this whole insecurity thing seems to like not having an end.
I don't want to take that excuse of them not reaching that place on time, because I can recall last year there was a bombing in one of Kaduna, one of the suburbs of Kaduna, when they used an area force to bomb. So if such devices can be employed in that scenario, what is wrong with this particular scenario? The distance is not.
But don't forget what that cost. It lost of some civilians
because of it was a mass bombing. Whether you like it or not, it was a mass bombing. When specific targets are made, trust me, it will not be as fatal as it was. That is it. The fact is, I don't want us to be saying, I blame you, I do not blame you. It was my mistake, it was not my mistake. What are we learning from this? Is there any indication that we need to up our game here? How did we take the entire thing so far? Is it pleasing to the eyes or the ears? It is not. So I think they need to up their game in intelligence gathering and the likes. And the question of if citizens should take up arms to defend themselves.
I was going to come there.
Thank you very much. It has started arising. And I don't think we should get to that phase.
Well, the chief of army staff has said no, that it's going to lead to a lot more disaster than what we're seeing currently.
It is easy.
But some people are already bearing arms. Those terrorists are already bearing arms. So how can citizens then defend themselves? Because I watched a program where Falana said, well, citizens, according to the constitution, you could defend yourself. But what method can be used to defend yourself? Because as citizens of a country, you are prone to some attack. Right, so, and you need defense for yourself. Should we not bear arms at this period where the government there's a lacuna in the aspect of security for the government?
Well, it is easy to say for Tarid Lagbaja to say it is going to lead to anarchy when he is being guarded by soldiers 247. That man, he's in a fortress, whether you like it or not. So he can say these things at the confines of his home because he knows nothing is coming. But for an average Nigerian who is prone to this attack, now from looking at the angle that the revered son is coming from, that's Falana. He said everyone has the right to defend him or herself from any attack. Now the question is, to what extent are you defending yourself? Are you defending yourself with a koboko to a gun or a gun to a koboko? Because the threat, whether you like it or not, the threat will determine how well you are defending yourself.
Yes.
Now, in this case scenario, the threat here is armed. And you would not expect a citizen to take up a cutlass against someone who is wielding a gun. You cannot bring a knife to a gunfight. You cannot. So basically now, the question of we having arms to protect ourselves raises another question. But everybody is kicking against it. The defense man is kicking against it.
The Christian Association of Nigeria kicks against it. Yeah.
Basically. Now it shows that if such things as intelligence cannot go smoothly, then how well would the regulation of arms go smoothly in the country? Then it will raise another question, because whether you like it or not, the Nigerian government has the autonomy of licensing arms. And the business of arms lies there too. Now, the moment you grant citizens the monopoly of purchasing arms, the business of the entire thing will start depreciate. Basically, to be decentralized. That is it. Then, when everyone take up arms, you expect the gradual spate of violence in the country, whether you like it or not.
So, but then how can citizens actually protect themselves? Because the attacks keep coming.
That raises the question of community policing. They've shouted, they've wanted these things for a while now, but I don't know why they are not giving them listening ears. Because whether you like it or not, we are having some security networks in some states, like the Edo Security Network,
we have Amotekun, Joint Task Force,
basically JTF, civilian JTF. Those things are some sort of community policing, but it is not what they want. What they want is a policing where it will be done in the state, whereby the governor would not have to call Abuja
or the IGP, please.
Basically, that something is happening. That. What are you like a lot?
Let me hold your thoughts there. We have a caller in there. Good morning.
Hello?
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling us from? Please turn down the volume of your TV set so that we can hear you.
Yeah. I say good morning once more.
Good morning.
Yeah, your analyst just said something a while ago that it will not be even fair to carry arms. We have reached a situation whereby they should carry arms. For somebody to come to your domain and kill 200 people, is it not embarrassing? And they were handicapped. You see, above all, we are yet to get a definite statement, either from the military or the federal government, of those who are actually responsible for the killing. It looks as if there is no political will. Those people, the security, I was watching the statement. They were passing, and they at least there is checkpoints, and they carried this thing out for 48 good hours. That is to say, Nigeria is not safe. If they could enter a place and kill 200 for 48 hours, it needs to be investigated. You see, what happened in Plateau was the massacre, and if look at what happened in Ondo. Akeredolu played a very urgent role when he discovered that some people were hiding in the bush, and the governor also has a lot of things to do. You see, if they now depend only on the federal government, can you remember what Tiwa Danjuma told the nation? He He said they are colluding, they will kill you one by one. It has come to a stage that Nigeria should have be holding arms. We are in a state of anarchy, my brother. Anarchy. For them, look at the little children who were killed with some women. It was very embarrassing. It's a genocide. Today, the Pope is talking about it. Today, United Nations is talking about probing what happened in Plateau. And it is high time Bola Tinubu have to rise to the occasion. Now tell me, how can investors come to this country with what has happened in Plateau? Is it not a disgrace to this country? Killing about 200 people at a blow. It's rather unfortunate. And if care is not taken, we are seriously in anarchy. Anarchy. God bless our country, Nigeria.
All right. Well, you heard his thoughts. You were saying something about depending on, of course, as a chief security officer of your state, you should have the onus to decide what happens and not run to Abuja or the IGP for statement. Let's take this other caller before we continue. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Beautiful morning to you, Agbi, and then good morning, sir. You are on to SMB calling from Lagos. Thank you very much. Let me quickly appreciate KAFTAN TV for giving us this ample opportunity to say our mind, especially when it comes to nation building. And let me quickly appreciate your guest for his talks. Thank you very much, sir, and we really appreciate you. I concur with what your guest mentioned in terms of the gap between the security intelligence agency and the other security forces. Honestly speaking, we've been saying this long ago. There is a big gap between the security agencies because we have the NIA, we have the DIA, we have the police force, we have the army, we have the air force, we have the civil service defense, and so on and so forth. So you can see all the security structure we have there. But the issue is there is that gap of communication. And remember, there is internal crisis between them also. So this issue has to be settled. And also, we, as a human beings, there is also a need for us to do something. Remember, in those days, our forefathers teaches us, first of all, religious value, family value, moral values, cultural values, and so on and so forth. To the extent that a guest will come to a community, he will not give any shelter there until he reports himself to that elder of that funder of that community, and so on and so forth. So that is why yesterday I said there is need for inclusion in this our governance. There is need for equity. There is need for this communal assistance when it comes to security issues. Because we lack morals in our society today. Everybody wants to be rich anyhow, anywhere. Who does that? So there is need for general societal reorientation.
Indeed.
We cannot expect the international community to come and rebuild Nigeria for us. We are to do it ourselves. How are we going to do it? Until we change our mindset. That's why I said we need general societal reorientation. Starting from your home, starting from my home, starting from your community, starting from my community, and so on and so forth.
Well noted,
MCD. Every parent needs guidance and counseling unit in their home. Thank you very much. I remain SMD from Lagos, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, SMD. Well, you heard the attack. You were making the points before we had to pick the call.
Yes, as I was saying, the previous caller before this one said that we are in a state of anarchy. Now, I want to guarantee you that the moment you grant these citizens the ability or the rights to wield weapons, there is no more anarchy that can be mentioned to that extent. Everything will be in chaos, whether you like it or not. But
the government seem not to be doing anything about it. Like this caller said, there's no clear statement as to you saw the excuse that the defense headquarters gave, that although there were even distress calls, about 30 over 30 distress calls, only 19 or thereabouts were even attended to, and of course they gave an excuse of a distance for not reaching the place of attack at the time. So there's no clear definition of what is ongoing. Even the president had even failed to mention it, even in his broadcast speech, for whatever reason, I do not know. So it just seems as though there's nothing. Even when the Governor Mufwang came, he just gave his condolence, and there's nothing being said about the whole issue. So what's now the best solution to this whole issue, if not citizens bearing firearms by themselves? Because trust me, nobody will come to attack you if they know you have your own weapon yourself.
Well, I must say, one of the first things President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said when he came into power was he will not condone hoarding of information amongst security agencies. And when he won that, a few weeks past, we saw the ESCC and the DSS struggling over one particular building. I don't know if you can recall that event. Now, it just shows you how well they took his statement and how seriously they took the president. Now, as the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, he has the final say as to how these things will be run. Now, the problem is, these agencies and their heads, are they sticking well to the rules and regulations as stated by the president? Now, on the issue of firearms, I'll tell you, you see how organized the United States of America is. You see how well calculated and how well they keep their records. But still, they still suffer they still suffer that decision of legalizing firearms. Because someone could just whip a burner or whip a gun, go into a school, start shooting randomly. That is what we don't want in Nigeria. The moment you grant people the ability to wield firearms, I bet you the state of terrorism, the state of insecurity, and the state of robbing will grow times 10 of how it is now. Because not everybody in Nigeria is sane. You might be walking in the street and you'll be looking at someone well dressed. Pardon me, that person might not be sane. Just step on that person's shoe a little and see how that person reacts to you. Even in the bus, you see how people talk to each other. Then you expect someone to carry a gun, or someone to have the right to possess a gun, and you trust me that in the course of that argument, during a back and forth with a fellow citizen and the other, and they won't whip out a gun and shoot. That is not what we want in Nigeria. We are saying what we want. Look at the United States of America. Community policing, state policing is what they do. They have the LAPD, the NYPD. Every state has its own department of police. Who is answerable to the mayor of that particular state or a particular area. Why are we not practicing the same thing here? Why? Why should we wait till the president gives a go ahead to the IGP, or until when the IGP tells the commissioner to lift up his leg or lift up his bottom from the seats to do something? So
you're a proponent of a rejigging of the sector, the architectural sector of security.
Basically, there should be a rejigging. Just two things, so we have that state policing. The moment we have state policing, it trickles down to the community. Now, whether you like it or not, when you recruit someone from a particular community to police in that particular environment, trust me, that person knows the in and out of that particular place.
Yes.
So why would I not take care of my home? Where would I go? Not that you go and pick someone from Akwa Ibom to come and be the state commissioner of police in Edo State, or you take him to the north. That person doesn't know that place.
All right, indeed, we could continue this discussion. Like I said, it's been ongoing since Monday, and it's every day new things develop and it unfolds on the same issue. So perhaps we'll get to talk more of it, but we hope that there is an end to this insecurity we're experiencing, especially in Plateau State and in other environs, like it has even gotten to Abuja. Well, we hope that the government does something quick as regards the issue. But we'll move straight to education because we have little time left. Federal government's clampdown on fake foreign bachelor's degree continues and extends suspension to certificates from Uganda, Kenya, others, and federal government to unleash security agents on Nigerians with fake certificates. Benin Republic Varsity alumni fights back, lampoons journalists for fallacy of hasty generalization. Well, you've seen other things that have been going on about the fake issuance of certificates, having to study within 2 months and graduated, attended NYC and the likes of it, and the fact that the federal government had even gone ahead to withdraw its accreditation from these schools. What do you make of all of this?
This particular case reminds me of one conversation I had with my mom, and she said something concerning all these Benin Republic University. Whenever you mention those universities, she'll be like, in pidgin English.
Na school be that.
Na school be that. now for my mother.
But then you say things like na school be that. But then when I remember when I was 7, when you hear foreign students, they come out really proud. And
foreign students, please, what country are we talking about? The Benin Republic, because they are neighbor here. Or are you talking about Niger? They also are neighbor here too. So when you talk about foreign students now, to what authenticity does that certificate possess? Because whether you like it or not, most of the foreign students I've come across that schooled in Benin Republic and Niger, I have never seen some lackadaisical people like them before.
But whose fault is the door on a more serious note? Because you see, there are good schools there, equivalent schools there. But you see Nigerians, according to the report filed by that journalist, is that aside from the fact that there are good schools there, you see Nigerians rushing into this school. They know that even their own residents in that country would not even attend such schools.
You know one thing, we should not treat anybody who gained a certificate from that school as a victim. We should treat them like a criminal, because they know what they are going into, and they went into it. There is a fact that whether you like it or not, as far as you've collected that certificate, you are a criminal in this country, because when those certificates are awarded, they are awarded in character and in learning. Now, you did not learn for the complete stipulated year of earning the university degree. That violates the learning. Now, on the character part, you fraudulently gained a certificate that states you studied for one particular course for a particular time, and it is not true. Now, it also shows you the decadence in education and the scrutiny from the National Youth Service Corps. Because if such case cannot be detected, then trust me, we would have had millions of them stream down this country, all in the name of getting a certificate and getting a good job. Now you are getting a job. Do you know what they are doing there? No, you don't. Now, I think we need to graduate from the phase of when you have your Bali, you can get a job, to what you can offer on the job. Skills. Basically, because it will streamline the people we are recruiting into the workforce. Imagine a doctor from that particular university that they awarded that certificate from.
I feel like we should narrow it down to even Nigeria in the whole sense, because it seems as though it's just basically the foreign university, because we've seen cases of even universities in Nigeria, schools in Nigeria, that people just go get the certificates without even attending lectures and the likes of it.
We are coming to that. Because whether you like it or not, there is a reason why these persons are going outside to school. Because of they are having a challenge with the Nigerian educational system. Now, if this challenge was not there, why would I school there? If Nigeria is good for me, why would I school there? If I am not being met by ASU strike over and over again, why would I school there? Now, it shows you the decadence in the Nigerian educational sector. More work needs to be done. I'm surprised that the Minister of Education is coming out to say we'll deal with this, we'll deal with that. How well have you dealt with people in your home? In this same country, you go to a university and you hear of bribing, sorting, sexual assault because of results.
Indeed.
And you don't do anything. For instance, the head of the Cross River or Calabar lecturer that did something. Yes. I'm not even hearing anything about that case anymore.
It took it a while before it came into limelight, and then before the Minister of Women Affairs had to intervene into it.
She had to intervene. Can you just imagine? Yes. What happened to the Minister of Education? Now, there are 1,001 people like that bedeviling the Nigerian educational system. And whether you like it or not, they know. And for a fact, they know what pains me more is during our electoral process, these same persons are the same people we draw in for the conduct of the electoral system. Shows you everything is wrong.
Indeed.
The moment you allow things to go wrong in the educational sector, it affects every part of the country. Corruption sweeps in. Am I talking about corruption? When you hear of forging of electoral result, for several misconduct, or will you go to the healthcare where someone who is ill-trained is now giving a knife to dissect a human being. And next thing you hear, the person forgot the scissors inside the person's tummy. Or should we go to the engineers who construct all sorts of building that they just crash in no time?
Indeed.
Whether you like it, trickles down the entire system. The moment you allow this thing to go on, you are sitting on the keg of gunpowder, whether you like it or not.
Well, indeed, we've heard the thoughts of our analysts in the house